We got a lot of national recognition based on the things that we brought into the store that's totally different from anything else any other dealerships doing.
I know at the awards you got, it's just unreal.
I won the National Car Dealer of the Year Award 2006. It's the highest honor you can win in the used car industry. I was the youngest dealer to ever win it.
That was a real defining moment for me. We were named the #1 small business in North Carolina last year. The book came out, Uncle Frank Says. I've gotten incredible feedback for that. It was a best-selling book. People start calling and asking us, how do you do this?
Several hundred.
Dealer associations, dealer conferences, and giving back to some of the guys that don't deal along the way.
I can't believe no manufacturer is trying to jump on it.
I've always been impressed with his the way he handles himself, the way he handles his personnel, his customers.
If the dealer doesn't stand behind their product, how can a consumer expect to trust that dealer and have a relationship with that dealer ongoing?
We're not for everybody. Music's a little loud. The garment ceremony is a little over the top. The colors are a little bright. We tend to wear silly hats, high-fiving and dancing around. We have a good time. Some people don't like to buy cars in that atmosphere, and that's okay. We're not for everybody, but there's a lot of love. And I think you can feel that when you walk in the door.
Thank you very much. You know, almost 3 years ago, we were named the #1 small business in the entire state of North Carolina. Now, it wasn't the #1 dealership, #1 used car store, #1 new car store, the #1 small business, and we were overwhelmed. A couple weeks later, I got a call from the producer of the Brian Tracy show. Brian Tracy's always been a mentor of mine, and most of you probably know at least who Brian Tracy is if you haven't read several of his books or watched his, listened to his audio programs over the years. And he actually wanted me to be a guest on his show to tell my story, my family story, my dealership story. Of course, I said what most of you said, and I said, yes, when can I be there? So I went to be on the Brian Tracy show, got finished with the segment, and afterwards the producer came up to me and he said, you know, you've got a great story. I'd love to turn your story into a movie. And once again, I said what most of you would have said. Yeah, right. Handed him a card, we exchanged cards. I went back to North Carolina expecting nothing. A few months later, the producer called back and said, I'm serious. I really think that your family story, your dealership story, your story as an entrepreneur would make a fantastic movie. So after many, many months of us discussing back and forth and making sure their vision for our store was the same as our vision for our store and making sure they lined up, they decided we were going to make this happen. Well, the movie came out. It was named Carmen. We're very fortunate that it turned out the way it did. That's the reel that you just saw, very small portion of that film. It won 5 Telly Awards, and next week we'll find out if it's actually up for Emmy nominations. It was on the Biography Channel nationwide, and I tell you all that not because I'm on a soapbox and want to brag about our store, which if you're not going to brag about your store, who is, right? So very happy about what we've done and about the movie. Fact that it was made. But more than anything, I love this industry and I'm passionate about this industry. As I'm sure that each and every one of you are as well. That's one of the reasons you're here. You're passionate about what we do. You're passionate to learn. And I was really passionate about this movie coming out and letting everyone see this film and showing them what automotive industry professionals are really like. Wouldn't you agree? Some of the finest people I know are in this industry, and unfortunately, we've been backed into what I call a negative corner, into a bad place. A lot of times we have really bad, there are really bad stereotypes, wouldn't you say, about automotive dealers? And this movie, if anything, if they blurred my face out, that would be okay in this film, because it really is about the success of our industry as a whole.